Hey everyone, this is Dinah Rose. Welcome to my channel. I have a quick video for you guys on Miss Cora Jakes-Coleman. She is the daughter of the very famous Bishop T.D. Jakes, and she is in yet another scandal. A video has dropped on the internet of a woman crying and saying that Cora manipulated her to take her baby. I want to give you guys some insight on that, but before I do, please like this video right now so that others can find me. Subscribe to my channel. I appreciate every single one of you for your support, and let's get started.
Take my son Jason. After I had my son Jason, because while I was pregnant with Jason, I was depressed. Mentally, physically, spiritually, I was fucking depressed. You understand what I'm saying? So when I had Jason, I went into postpartum depression. I never dealt with that in my whole entire life or having children. I never dealt with postpartum depression. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know how to deal with it. I just know that I was dealing with it. You know, and she took that and she prayed on my vulnerability to the point where she had me in front of a fucking MacBook recording and asking me questions, talking about it.
So you guys, Jason is actually 9 years old now, and Michelle, the woman in the video, is his birth mother. She said she's been fighting to regain custody of him since 2014. She said that she's gone to court twice and she has lost both times. So now she is looking for public support, trying to shed light on what Cora did to her, what she's alleging Cora did to her. And I guess at some point she's going to need some money too, because let's face it, T.D. Jakes, that is a wealthy family. So they can fight all of this in court. She actually said she had to defend herself. She didn't even have a lawyer one of the times she went into court. In that video, she says, I felt like I was being manipulated because they were asking me a bunch of questions when they knew I was suffering from postpartum depression. So I wanted to give you guys just a little bit more insight on how that works, because I used to manage a fertility clinic for 10 years and I got to see like private surrogacy and private adoption. So I know that that happens, and I want to explain to you how it happens. But first, I want to give you guys some more details on how this all went down, and this is courtesy of Larry Reed.
I know in order for me to fight because of who I'm going against, we're talking about a family who the head of their family sits with presidents and kings and queens of the world. Okay? This is the type of family that I'm talking about. And you're talking about little old me. So I need help in my fight. And I can't do it by myself. I can't go in there and represent myself. Pro se, I think I probably will get a lot further than what I did from the first time representing my pro se, because of the laws that I've studied now in Texas when it comes to family law. No, I was not paid. And that's another thing. I was not paid. She tried to pay me. I did not take the payment. And I have receipt of that as well. I did not take the payment. You can't pay me for my kids because they was given to me. They weren't given to you. It doesn't matter what I went through. It doesn't matter what I had to endure, what I had to experience. If God saw fit enough for me to have them, then he knew he equipped everything in me to raise them and take care of them as long as I tapped into them.
So you guys, I played that clip in particular because she said, I was offered money, but I did not take the money. But we don't know if she considered taking the money. Perhaps that was a deal of some sort and then she changed her mind. However, she said that Cora was her friend. She said that they had known each other since they were 10 or 12 years old. She was going through some hard times, I guess even being homeless. And Jason is one of 4 children that she had given birth to. So her other children were with her. They were never assigned to another home for custody. She said that she has always had her children, that Jason in particular, she was just going through a hard time with depression, and that Cora was aware of it, and that she took advantage of it by first pretending to be a friend of hers. Like, I'm going to help you get through this hard time. I'm going to help you get back on your feet and get a job. Cora was the godmother and often babysat both Jason and her other children. She said that she ended up getting a job. Michelle ended up getting a job, and she was working 12 to 16 hour days. And then Michelle admits that because she was working such long hours and she was depressed, that she would go a day or two without actually checking up on the child. She wouldn't call or go over to pick that child up. And she said that Cora, at some point, was acting as a mother. But she said because Cora was the godmother, she was doing what godmothers or godparents typically do. Now let's fast forward some months. Cora has kept receipts for every dollar she's ever spent on Jason. I'm sure she's videotaping herself with this child. She's posting him on Instagram. She is the acting mother for all intents and purposes. And she calls Michelle and says, hey, he's here all the time. Why don't I just take custody of him? And in exchange, if there is an exchange, I'll give you money, which she says she turned down. And then she says, well, why don't we do it so that you can come pick him up like once every weekend or every 2 weekends, whatever. She gives her something. And Michelle agrees to this. Then Michelle picks this child up for whatever her scheduled weekend is. And she noticed that he has a iPad or something like that, a tablet, she said. He has a tablet. I turned the tablet off because I know that Cora gave it to him so that she can track our location, and that offended her. So she turns it off, and then she also doesn't answer her phone calls or text messages. Cora thinks that the baby has been kidnapped, so she calls the police on Michelle, and she posts something on the internet that says, my baby has been kidnapped. Whatever agreement Michelle had before has been revoked, and she has been fighting to get custody of Jason back ever since. Now, a lot of people have been saying that Cora is the one who took advantage of her and her bad situation, and they are condemning the Jakes. And then there are people who are saying that, Michelle knew what she was doing, and she was the one who took advantage of Cora. I want you guys to let me know what y'all think about this story. Do you feel like Cora is right? Do you feel Michelle is right? Or do you just think it's unfortunate for both? Michelle's number one reason for wanting that baby returned to her is that she was suffering through postpartum depression. But believe it or not, postpartum depression is not always a deal breaker in a private adoption. That's why they put her on tape, so that if she ever came back, they could show that she answered the questions. She's going to answer a whole list of questions like, what's your name? What day is this? What color is this? All these things to show that she's still in her right mind and was able to fully comprehend what was being asked of you. Also, you sign paperwork. So when you go to court, a judge does not want to decide whose emotions is most believable. They're going to side with what's written in black and white always. Anyway, if you guys have some more details to share about Cora and this whole situation, please do it in the comments. I did read some things about her ex-husband, but I didn't want to include it in this video because that is not one of the accusations that Michelle was actually making. So I didn't want to add that and, prejudice the entire thing. But you guys let me know what y'all think about, everything we discussed here. Like this video. Subscribe to my channel. Of course, comment, share, and I will see you guys on the next one.